Hello there, I'm Eduardo Moraes, Sitecore MVP, and today we'll be talking about some best practices for organizing the content for your website from a customer experience perspective and its equivalent organization within Sitecore content tree structure.
Okay, so let's focus today on content organization and the use of Sitecore to provide an optimized customer experience. As we have discussed before in my other video, it is all about making sure you have a customer-centric strategy and therefore doing your homework around learning which content is actually relevant to your customers. A relevant content is one that helps your customers find what they need and it makes their life easier. They come to your website with specific goals in mind, and your job is to help them to achieve it. This video is a part of a series of tactics that we'll be exploring with Sitecore around providing a better customer experience. It all starts with the right content. A website could have the most awesome visual design in the world, but if it fails to deliver the right message, all that collection of shining images, original fonts would be pointless. The elaboration of an information architecture, or IA for short, is a very important task to be accomplished. There are a few techniques that can be used to define what could be the best organization for your content, such as task identification and card sorting. A talented information architect will make use of all relevant tools and analytics information available to help you find the right choices to be made. This kind of work is actually more important than what most people will think. And usability testing sessions can help you to validate and fine tune your choices. Visual comps are for sure very compelling and easily get a lot more attention from the business stakeholders. But it's actually the right content and provided on its best organization possible, then associated with a smart design that will indeed make your customer's life easier. Let's take, for example, a proposed content organization for a given fictional computer store. The products sold on this computer store website are organized around three main groups: desktops, laptops, and tablets. To facilitate the visualization of the proposed content organization for this website, we will make use of a visual sitemap. This sitemap provides us with a content hierarchy that takes in consideration in its first level the main tasks users would perform in the website, including shop online, find a store, verify an order status, and seek for support whenever required. The content for our store products under Shop Online would be organized by the three main different types of products sold: desktop computers, laptops, and tablets. This is done with the idea in mind that users come to your site to accomplish a specific task and to ensure they will have the easiest possible path to accomplish those most common tasks. Let's now take a look on how using Sitecore and its Experience Accelerator, known as XXA, the architecture for this site and its content organization would be defined in Sitecore. To demonstrate to you this example, I'm using a fresh blank install of Sitecore 8.2 Update 5 with Sitecore's SXA installed on it. I will now log into Sitecore interface and access the desktop application. Now we'll go into its content editor, and as we can see, we have only the default Sitecore content tree with just home item created under content. With SXA, one of the first things to do is to create your tenant. You can think of the tenant as being your corporation. In cases where you have multiple companies being managed within the same Sitecore instance, you could create one tenant for each. You could also use the same approach in case you want to divide your brand sites in different groups, creating, in that case, a tenant for each brand. It all depends on how you want to proceed with your content organization strategy. I will now create a tenant for our computer store. Sitecore SXA will run a script that will take care of creating all necessary items for our tenant. Now it's done. You can close. Our computer store tenant is created. Now I'm going to create our site. So you could have many sites under your tenant. For this one, we're going to create our main site. I'll just call it main. Now our site is created. So we can go there and see that it has a home page. And if we preview the home page, we can see that we have a blank canvas where we can start um, proceeding with applying components to our homepage, or in our case here, we could even start wireframing our page so that your designers could help and work directly into this interface to apply the initial concepts of how the content should be presented. I'm switching to edit mode. Like other accelerators in the market, such as Keystone or BrainJox's Score, Sitecore SXA comes with many components that are installed with its package. So for this example here, I'm going to start by using a page structure component called splitter columns, because I want to have my header divided into 3 columns. So 1, 2, column 1, column 2, and column 3. Let's take a look in our component properties. And for my column 1, I want it to be of size 1 because it's just a placeholder for my logo. Column 2, I want its size a little bit bigger because this is where I want to put my top menu. And column number 3, it will take the remaining space in a grid of 12 columns, of course. So 3 plus 8, 11, plus 1, 12. The last column will be used for my search box component. So I hit OK. So now I have my 3 columns, 1, 2, and 3. So in the first one, I can add an image component. So it's a page content, media actually, image, select, and this will be the placeholder for my logo. In the second one, I will add a navigation component, navigation, and in the third one, I will add a search box component. Okay, my navigation component, I can select in its component properties a style. And for now, I want the style to be main navigation drop down horizontal. So this is a very wireframe-like view of the page that SXA provides us at this point. All these components can be later, they can receive a style that can be applied on top of them through CSS files. And then the page can actually match whatever will be the final visual design for your site. But this is how we would like, at least in terms of content organization, to structure the header for our page. And what we are interested here is actually on the navigation. So how do we make this navigation work in Sitecore? If you go back to the content structure here, the next thing to do is to start creating the page based on the sitemap that we had presented. So On the first level, we would have 4 pages. Shop online, find a store, order status, and support. Under Shop Online, we will have landing pages for our 3 major product groups: desktop computers, laptops, and tablets. I can go to each one of those items here, and if I want a title that is different from my item name, I can just add it. So order status, just removing the hyphen from the title. And if you would want to add it, any other fields on your page as well, you can do that. As for example, the navigation title. It can be different from your page title itself. And now if we go back to our wireframe-like view of the page in the preview mode or edit mode, we can reload the page. We can reload the page, and we will see that navigation is now following the information architecture, the site map that we reproduced within Sitecore. And now it would be really a question of going through the page and also applying what is the proposed distribution of components and content organization. And you even could do that at template level, so then you can make sure that all pages of a certain template will have the same structure. To conclude this presentation, let me recap with you now some of the key points we discussed. First, your content must be always aligned with what your customers are looking for. When you do that, you ensure you are providing relevant content to your site visitors. Make your customers' life easier by providing a simple task-oriented navigation. Keep an eye on your main top navigation to ensure it is giving your customers an easy path to the tasks they want to accomplish when they visit your site. Accelerators such as SXA can help you to quickly reproduce your sitemap, your IA, and it can also help you to start prototyping your key page and its navigation directly from the Sitecore interface. Make sure you validate your assumptions by testing your IA before starting the final build of your site. These are simple but key elements to take in consideration. In the next videos, we'll continue digging more into Sitecore and its tools and how it can help us to bring our customer experience strategy into reality. Thank you for your time and see you in my next video.